Oh my God. What on earth have I just witnessed? Oh my God. Palace have won in the biggest game of the season against Brighton at the Amex 2-1. Back-to-back wins away to Brighton. And we've done it in the most shithouse, Brexit, backdoor, Sean Dyche way. We were absolutely, not so much the first half, the second half, we were absolutely battered. We didn't deserve anything from that game. We were very lucky to be coming out with it with a point, I was thinking, in injury time. But then all of a sudden, we'll get onto the goal in a minute. We'll get onto it in a minute, but let's start things off at the beginning. The way we set up, it was clear we were looking to pack out the midfield. We were going 4-5-1, trying to grind out the game. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. What a crap second half, but what an ending. Where was I? The team was a good team. I think without Wilfin, it's probably the best team we could have hoped for. Mateta starting was massive. I really wished he would start ahead of Benteke, and he did. And wow, what a moment he had in the game. Obviously, it looked like when we were defending, we were going to be much more compact and solid than we've been in previous games. And the main goal for me was just get through the first 10 minutes without conceding, because that's been our big problem in recent weeks. We did that. It was a little bit shaky at times, and we didn't get a touch of the ball or any real period of possession until 10 minutes into the game, to be honest. It took us a long time to actually get a foot on the ball. But once we did and settled in a bit, we obviously grew a little bit more in confidence. We still had very much second best in terms of possession in the first half. We really let Brighton have the ball and tried to pick our moments to counter-attack. It was clear defensively we were going to be more compact and solid, and obviously we were that in that first half. I think we were very good, and although Brighton had a lot of possession in and around the final third, limited them to very, very few chances actually, and none that actually tested Guaita at all. And that's a massive credit to the way Cahill marshalled that defence. For me, he was man of the match. This guy gave it to Jordan Ayew, which was very weird, because I think although he ran about a lot, which we know he can do, and put a shift in for the team, I don't know whether he was worthy of a man of the match performance with some of those defensive blocks Cahill and Chiarte put in, and Mitchell. Ward as well. In fact, the whole back line was just brilliant. They were fantastic. They were epitomised what we wanted going into this game. We wanted the players to show passion, show that they cared. And that back line in particular showed that to a T. Throughout the game, even though we were very sloppy in possession, especially in the second half, we were dire in terms of keeping the ball and relieving pressure. But the back line, no matter what was thrown at them, they put their bodies on the line, and they made us proud. They made us proud of the way they defended. And that's probably the one highlight you can take away from this. Probably the only highlight, bar the 2 goals, which we'll get onto. Obviously, as I said, we were picking the moment to attack, and Chiarte picks up the ball around 20 minutes in, sweeps the ball, beautiful ball out wide to Ayew, who then marshals off Burns, who is a big, strong guy, Burns, but John Ayew does well to keep him off, whips the ball in, and Mateta with the first time back heel finish for his first goal for the club. First goal for the club, back-heeled flick finish, double nutmeg against Brighton. Instant Palace hero. Instant hero. Doesn't matter what happens now. He could not score again, and he could go back to Mainz after 18-month loan. And that goal will forever be a massive moment in the club's history. Scoring a debut goal in that fashion. Absolute filth. We then see out the second half. The first half, as I said, comfortably. We didn't really have anything to worry about. Brighton didn't test the keeper whatsoever, and in general we were defending quite well, and it was a good basis to go off on the second half. Obviously, we were in this position in the reverse fixture at Selhurst earlier in the season, and in the second half we were very defensive in that game, and we invited pressure onto us, and in the end it cost us. We ended up drawing the game, and we should have seen it out as a 1-0 win. And I was hoping in the second half we wouldn't make the same mistake. I hope we would try and go at them a little bit, obviously keeping the same structure we had in the first half, but realising that the longer the game goes at 1-0, the more they're going to open up and be clinical and pick them off, like we did last season at the Amex, when Will should have put it to bed 2-0 at the end of that game. I was hoping for that sort of performance in the second half. In the end, they score quite early on. It's only about 10 minutes into the 10-15 minutes in, and they get the goal. And it was a little bit of luck. Mitchell's unlucky there. He tries to get a foot on the ball when Welbeck's there, putting him under pressure and tries to pirouette. And Mitchell gets a touch on it, deflects over to Veltman, and he curls it in the near post. A question mark, maybe Guaita could have covered that a bit better, but it was a good finish. And then from then on, it was all Brighton. I mean, I think the stats showed it was the most shots they've had in a half in their Premier League in history. In this season alone, it was the second most shots in a half ever this season in the Prem. Most corners for Brighton in the Premier League. All of this stats, it just makes me a smile on my face grow even more for what ends up happening, because Benteke comes on as the sub for Mateta after 75 minutes. Then McCarthy comes on with a amount of minutes to go. Brian continuing to pile the pressure on. Every minute ticks by and thinking, this is shocking, because whenever we did get the ball, we couldn't hold on to it. We could not hold on to it. Brian kept piling on the pressure. But in the end, you know, it doesn't matter how much pressure you put on. It doesn't matter how good you are in terms of getting in and around the box and creating crosses and corners and chances like that. Again, Guaita didn't really have a save to make. And in the end, just goes to show how poor you are if you can't convert those chances and you concede 2 chances or 3 chances, only 2 shots on target we had, and we scored both of them. I mean, as poor as you can say we were in that game, which I'm holding my hands up saying we were very poor, especially in that second half. First half, not too bad. I thought we were okay. Second half, we were dire. It just makes it even more sweeter. Benteke, last minute, lovely run up the pitch. It's only the second time in that half we actually broke into the Brighton half. I think for the whole, at least the final third. Townsend gets the ball out wide, puts in a looping cross. Not a lot to deal with for Benteke. It's quite deep. He watches it come out of the sky. Bang! First time finish, bottom corner. Best goal Benteke scored in a Palace shirt. Most memorable moment. It's just it's out of nowhere. You don't expect it from Benteke whatsoever. You don't expect him to do that, and he absolutely twats it into the bottom corner. Absolute scenes. If you follow me on Twitter, if you haven't already, guys, you've seen my instant reaction to that goal going in, and we ended up winning the game 2-1 in a game we didn't deserve to win. But in a rivalry, the game of this magnitude, the one thing we asked of the players going into it was show passion, show that you care, and put everything on that pitch for us. And as I said, the midfield were poor. We didn't hold the ball well enough at all. But the defence showed it for me. I think as a team collectively, we ground it out. And in the end, as poor as that performance was, and there's definitely question marks going forward there, don't get me wrong, I think we do need to address a lot of things going into the Fulham game off the back of that second half. But we came out with a win, and I couldn't care less how poor we were. We beat Brighton 2-1 in their backyard again, back-to-back seasons with 2 shots on target, 2 goals, and 2 amazing goals they were. You got to, take it in, Brighton. Take it in and weep. That was just an insane finish to the game. I'm buzzing. We're definitely, it's a massive, it means a lot less pressure on the Fulham game. If we get a result in the Fulham match as well, that will pretty much confirm us there or thereabouts on safety. I think we were there already, personally. I think there was too much ground really to make up. But what a moment this is. Season 6-pointer, as Gary Cahill said after the game. Massive moment in the season. And it's enough to steer us from safety, in my opinion. And hopefully we'll be looking up the table rather than below us. And it also chucks Brighton right in it as well. If Fulham do get a result against us or in the next few weeks. So massive 3 points. I'm so proud of the team for getting over the line and being clinical in front of goal when they were. And I'm proud of them in that sense, in the way they defended and took the chances when they came. Everything else was shocking, and we do need to address that. But as you can tell, I really don't care about that at the moment. I'm just going to enjoy this moment. What a Monday night that was, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it too. I'm sweating a little bit as well, so I apologise, guys. But please like, share, subscribe. All you Palace fans, I want to share on this video. Share it out there. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Palace beat Brighton 2-1 in their backyard. Up the Palace. We are superior. You know it makes sense. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Come on, you Palace.